So what is market cannibalization? And what do I need to know about it? Let's talk about that. So let's talk about the car market and how market cannibalization is rampant even within product lines that are so mature like the car market. So let's talk about the car company that everybody's talking about, which is Tesla. So I have two models here. So this is a Model S and a Model X. So the Model S is a high-class sedan, very fast, and is a full electric vehicle. This is the Model X. The Model X is also made by Tesla. It is also a fully electric vehicle, and it is sort of an SUV, kind of more like a minivan, but it has a third row seat and gull wing doors. So it's not like any SUV or a minivan that you've seen before, but it's somewhere in between when we're talking about the size. Now, price range, these two are in a similar market. Both of these vehicles range between These vehicles are both in a very similar price range. They're in the around $80,000 to $120,000 range, depending on if you get ludicrous speed or not. So because they're both in the same price range, done by the same company, even though this one, the model here is much smaller, it's bigger on the inside than the Model S. But if you're in the market for a fast, luxurious vehicle, you have to make a choice between whether or not you want the bigger, slightly slower SUV, or if you want the sedan version. Now, depending on who you are, maybe you need the extra space, you need the third row seat, maybe you have a family, you need the extra capacity, you will go with the SUV. Whereas you want something a little more sporty, you'll go with the sedan itself. But the price range is similar, which means if I have $100,000 in my back pocket and I'm looking for a vehicle to buy, I will go to Tesla and say, hey, what do you have in the range of $100,000? And Tesla will say, I have these two vehicles. Please pick one or the other. Now, what ends up happening is the consumer with the $100,000 in their pocket says, hey, I need to make a choice now. So now you got to weigh out the differences. Well, this one has more cargo room, and this one's a little faster. Well, this one is got gull wing doors. Well, this one has been around a little bit longer, so it has a little more reliability fixes built into it. So this makes you have to compare and contrast the deltas between the two different vehicles. Now, because of that, you will decide on one or the other. But because you made the list in your head or written down or on a whiteboard, you will not like the purchase that you've made as much as if you just walked in and they say, this is our offering. So adding this other car on the lot makes it so you have to make these compares and contrasts even within the Tesla product line, which makes you feel less good about which one you pick. Let's say you want the sedan because you want it with ludicrous speed and you want to go fast 0 to 60. Well, that's great. You've made the comparison, you made this choice. But as you drive off the lot, and somebody says, hey, can you come pick us up? And we have 3 people. Can you put 3 people in the back seat? The answer is maybe not. So now you have immediate regret that you didn't buy the SUV version. Now you're always going to second guess yourself whether or not you made the right choice in your purchase, in your weighing out of the two options. Because that second option exists, you're going to feel less good about the choice that you made. So that's market cannibalization. When you have the option, you have the money to buy either one of these two, and you are forced to make a decision as to which one you want. So this is an easy statement when it comes to just looking at Tesla because these two are very similar in regards. So let's talk about Tesla a little more. If we're looking at these two as the high-priced luxurious versions, they've now come out with the 3, which ranges between 37,000-ish to in the 40s. Now these are in the luxurious market. Now to combat cannibalization of the market, they've gone away from this high price range and actually come out with a new car called the Model 3, which is in the 30s, 40s price range. Now, with that being said, that has no impact of market cannibalization. Somebody that has $40,000 in their pocket cannot buy a $90,000 vehicle. So they're not going to feel regret because they didn't have a huge upgrade and double the price of the car to get one of these other cars because they don't have the money in their hand. So let's go away from Tesla. I put the Teslas back on the shelf. And what I want to talk about now is the larger companies, the Fords, the Hondas of the world. And I want to look at these companies and look at their product lines and see if there's market cannibalization or not market cannibalization. So I'm going to start with sedans and not include the hybrids and the electric vehicles, just so that we have a comparable lineup that we can compare to. So if I look at Ford first, there's 4 sedans that they have in their lineup. They have the Fiesta, they have the Focus, they have the Fusion, and they have the Taurus or the 500. Now, those are all in that sedan product line. So I gathered up their prices from their webpage and the price range of each one of those products. I've laid them all out in this picture, and you can see that there's a lot of overlap between the different products. The cheaper Fiesta also overlaps with the Focus and a little bit overlaps with the Fusion. And now the Focus has a huge range. So if I have $35,000 in my pocket and I go to Ford, they're going to show me 3 product lines with varying different options inside of each one of those product lines. That's going to confuse me. It's going to make me less happy about the choice I make going off the lot. So that is market cannibalization. Now let's go over to other companies and see if they also have market cannibalization. So now, in comparison to Ford, let's go look at Hyundai. Now the Hyundais have 4 products in that same sedan world, but they've set themselves apart. They've taken more of an approach where they've given small buckets to each of their products within the product line, which allows less overlap to be happening at the dealership. So if you look at their bars, given so much money in your pocket going to the dealership, you will be offered 1, maybe 2, but most of the time just 1 of the vehicles that they have on the lot, which allows for you to feel a lot better about your option when you drive off the lot, because you're getting into the vehicle that really reflects the price range that you're really looking at and allows you to compare it to other companies like Ford. Market cannibalization has been studied for many years. However, it really came into impact when cell phone companies were just rampant with all these different types of designs. And what ends up happening is, if you had $100 or $200 in your pocket, there was 50 different choices for you from all these different manufacturers, all these different features, and you walked out of there feeling a lot worse than when you walked in, even though you purchased the item that looked and felt the best to what you had. That really reflects how market cannibalization really makes the buying process feel so negative. So if you agree with this philosophy or disagree, leave a comment down below. I'd love to have a conversation around it. And if you want to learn more about this, reach out to us at stepnexttraining.com or stepnexttraining@gmail.com. We would love to talk to you or your company about how market cannibalization is impacting you and impacting your business, and how you can get away from that market cannibalization by restructuring your product line. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe down below, because we have a lot more of these type of videos for you at Step Next Training. Thanks everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.